Hey you guys, and welcome back for another awesome episode of FTM Transformers on YouTube. I'm your host, Michael, on this Michael Mondays. And this week's topic is parents. Parents have got to be like one of, if not the biggest obstacle in transition. And I hate to call them an obstacle because sometimes they can be very beneficial, and if they're supportive and if they can understand that you know what's best for you. Many parents don't feel that way. They feel like what they know in their heart is what they think is right for their child, and so they try to stop us. So the question about parents is like, how they feel about a transition and stuff, and if they know about it. And so, yeah, they know about my transition. They found out second semester of my sophomore year, in high school, and sorry, I just ate some chocolate, so I'm, salivating. And since then, they have been very supportive in me trying to not be trans. They've been very, gung-ho, we can fix this, just go to therapy, just wear more girl things, do more girl things, just connect with who you are biologically, and that'll help your brain connect with your body. And of course that didn't work. They tried lots of stuff for 3 years, and technically 4 years now, and I'll tell you, I've done a lot of girly things this past year at college. College has really been able to let me be feminine and be like whatever the hell I want to be, because just because it was a new start, and I told everyone, hey, I'm a guy, and they're like, okay, and then I'm like, I'm a really femme-ass guy, so watch out. And I'm like small and adorable, so everyone's just like, it's just Michael, don't worry about him. So I've done a lot of girly things and acted really girly, and I'm still male, so yeah. I think one of the biggest reasons that they're not supportive is because they're scared, like most parents. Fear mixed with love gives you this crazy bullshit that just explodes everywhere, and you can't reason with fear mixed with love. It doesn't work, because I know my parents love me, and I'm not saying they're bad parents or they don't love me or they I know they really do want what's best for me, and they think they know what's best for me, just because of my past and things that happened to me, and being adopted and all these other things, all these problems that I had before, all these previous things. So they're like, this is just one of those things. But I went through all these therapies, and all those things are pretty much cleared up, if not gone. So, and this is still here. So maybe if you're someone who has had a lot of trauma in their life, when they were younger, growing up, and your parents are like, this is just because of what happened to you when you were younger or whatever, go through all those crappy, stupid ass therapies they make you go to that fix you for being trans, but just look at it more as helping you for your traumatic experiences, because then once you show improvement, and that you don't have those traumatic, psychological kind of problem things that you had before, or maybe you have lots of panic attacks, or maybe that aren't related to being trans, just like other things. So once you get rid of all those things, to show that you can interact socially by yourself and you're good at it or whatever, or maybe you don't talk to people, or maybe you're very angry, or maybe you're whatever, what have you. Once you show that you have shown improvement and or those bad things are gone, all that's left is you, and then they can't really deny the fact that you're trans, because that's the only problem left. And it's the source of all the other problems that you may have at the moment, or anxieties, or whatever. Even if your parents say they hate you, they don't, they hate what they see. They hate what they know will happen to you. Because, they grew up in the whatevers, I don't even know, 70s, 80s, whatever. Hopefully not the 90s. Yeah, so they've seen what happens to people in the LGBT community, and it's always been 20 times worse for trans people because they're not represented. My parents have always been on the side of, like I said before, the whole, like, oh, it's because of trauma you've had in your life. And the biggest one was, you weren't like this when you were little. You weren't like this before. You changed. You looked at something, you saw someone, and you were hanging out with those people. You were hanging out with a girl who was dressing like a guy all the time and cut her hair short, and now you're like this. Now you're like this. Like, that's another factor of fear, though, is when you're scared and you don't like what you're seeing, you find reason in things that don't make any sense. It wasn't an outside factor that made me go, hey, you know what I could be? Because this person's doing it. I could be trans too. Your parents are like, oh, you just thought this up? No, mother. They don't think that I should get top surgery because it'll change my body and, like, God made me this way and all these other things. They've got contradicting ideas because they always throw in, like, oh, God made you this way, God wanted you to be this way, yada yada yada, but then they're like all sciencey and shit, and they're like, it's because something in your brain is misfiring and you're not connecting. So yeah, my parents are completely unsupportive, and they don't want me doing anything, they don't want me saying anything, they don't want me telling anyone, and they still give me all these girl things, and they don't call me my name that I chose, they don't call me Michael. But yeah, some parents are like that. They just don't want to accept it, and you gotta deal with it. It's advice for people telling their parents. I suggest you practice telling them over and over and over and over again in your brain, and going through every single possibility that could possibly happen. You better have some backup plans in case something goes completely awry and you're like, holy shit, I'm homeless, what the fuck do I do now? Even if you have no friends, like, make sure you know where to go. Like, if there's, because no matter where you live, the odds are that there is some LGBTQ center, resource place within a 20-mile radius. 20, 50, I don't know, I'm not good with mileage, radius, whatever. Within your city limits or whatever, or if you're in the country, the nearest city, and, you should be able to get a taxi there, or get a shuttle, or a bus, or, whatever, ride your bike, because sometimes you can feel like your parents are going to say one thing, it's completely opposite of how they react, and you're just like, hooray! And other times you're like, my parents, they're like activists, they're like the bomb, they got this, hey yo, mom, dad, I'm trans, hey, and they're just like, not in my house. Be very mature about it. If they start yelling at you, do not yell back. That's a trap. Be very mature, be very calm, be very sure of yourself, be very confident. Say, this is who I am. These are the steps I want to take. If you're not ready for this, I can leave, and I'll go here for a while, and I'll come back. When you're telling them something like this, because this is much different than being like, oh, hey, I'm gay. Like, this is much different, as you know. So you have to be really, like, condescending, like they're children. It'd be like, and really appeasing to them at first. Like, super, uber, duper, uber appeasing, and being like, this is how I am, and if you don't approve of that, I hope you can support me, and if you can't support me, I hope I can help you learn more about it, and learn more about me and myself and how this is affecting me in my life and why this is best for me. And tell them, how you came about it, what brought it on, and it's not their fault. Tell them it's not their fault. Sometimes it's better to write in a letter format, so that you can really get all your thoughts out and get all these preparations out of the way, and you can write down places they can go, people they can talk to, things they can watch or see. Parents are complicated. This is a long ass video. That's all I have for this week. Stay tuned for the rest of the week's stuff. I hope you had a awesome-rific or semi-good Christmas, and I will see you next week. So yeah, thanks for supporting us all this year and starting up our new thing, and cheers to next year. So stay beautiful.